Now to your top 10 headlines in just 2 minutes. Police have released the names and ages of those who died in the head-on crash in Rio Vista this week. 3 of the dead were in the Honda that struck another car head-on. Those victims from Vacaville. The other death, a woman in her 70s who was visiting from Mexico. A 41-year-old woman was arrested in Oroville after she allegedly convinced a child that was not her own to leave a preschool with her. Police say teachers at the school were able to stop the woman. They say the child was 4 years old and was not hurt. Senator Alex Padilla announcing $9 million is heading to California to help with fire prevention and response projects. Some of that money is going to the Lake Tahoe Community College Fire Academy and Nevada County. The community gathered today to support workers who lost their jobs because of a fire at a particle board plant in Amador County. Around 150 people there are now without work. A group of California scientists gathered on the steps of the Capitol today to demand fair pay. They say their roles have become more important because of the recent public health emergencies and climate change. The U.S. and Russia are now in talks about a potential prisoner swap. It would send Brittany Griner back home with Paul Whelan. Whelan was sentenced in Russia back in 2020 for 16 years on espionage charges. The U.S. would hand over Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout. Despite drivers seeing some of the highest gas prices ever, American oil companies are recording record profits. ExxonMobil alone made almost $18 billion in profits in the second quarter. Parts of eastern Kentucky were devastated by floods today. At least 19 people are dead, but officials say that number could go higher. Climate scientists warn that events like this are only going to happen more often. Will Smith apologizing again for slapping Chris Rock after a joke Rock made at the Oscars about Smith's wife, Jada. Smith says he didn't realize how many people he hurt with his actions. For the, shall we say, adventurous drinkers, here's one for your bucket list. Bars in New York and Chicago are now serving a cocktail infused with Velveeta cheese. Yeah, they're calling it the Veltini. It comes complete with cheese, stuffed olives, and pasta shells for garnish. Cheers. Those are your top 10 headlines in just 2 minutes.